All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Another Eden Live. I am your community manager, Scott, community manager for Another Eden, the cat beyond time and space. It is good to be with you all today. It feels like it's been a long time. It's been the normal amount of time, of course, always, but feels like it's been too long. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? It is good to see you all. Melody, Rise, Clambo, Shadow, Crusader, thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of really cool things to share with you today. First of all, we've got a couple of updates. As you can see here, we've got 2 new characters to introduce to you. And in addition to that, at the end of the stream, we are going to speak live with some of the developers of Another Eden. You know them as the Dream Team, Backy, Koike, and Justin. They will be after we talk about these updates. So we're super excited about that. Let's just get straight into it, though. Yes, losers, live. Loser, it's always awkward for me to call you out on stream because I feel like I'm being insulting. Anyway, they are here. We took your questions, and we'll talk about that later. We took your questions on Twitter and Facebook, and we will be asking them those questions here. It is not pre-recorded, Duck. It's not pre-recorded. They are here. They are waiting to speak. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. We've got a couple of updates. Update number 1 here is, well, I feel like these things are always a little bit more exciting if I let you watch it through a video. So why don't we do that? So that's our first update. Uquaji is coming in update 1, and as you saw, that is happening October 11th. Journey's End and Beginning will be dropping at that time. We've got a lot to get into there about that. About this update that's coming. So here's what you need to know. We've got an 8th form of Uquaji. Level 175 through 195 will be added to the space-time rift. Uquaji will finally be playable. If you clear the high-level content, and look, it says high-level content here. It really should say very high-level content. This is going to be quite a challenge for many of us, including me. But you clear Journey's End and Beginning, and Uquaji will become your ally for free. The high-level content, Journey's End and Beginning, will be unlocked by defeating the 8th form. And new weapons and armor will be added as well. This is going to be quite a challenge, so we look forward to easy. Hey, for some of you, it might be easy. For me, it's going to be very, very, very difficult. So let's dig into some Uquaji lore, shall we? Who is Uquaji? Well, Uquaji is a traveler's buddy in the space-time rift, and at Traveler's request, Aldo and company are teach Uquaji how to fight. As many of you who've taken on Uquaji already know, when he is defeated by Aldo and company, Uquaji disappears, but always comes back with determination, always comes back stronger, because Uquaji hates to lose. So I think many of you are familiar with Uquaji's various forms, depending on how far you've advanced. We'll look forward to seeing what the 8th form will be. Let's get into more Uquaji. We got to spend more time on Uquaji. Uquaji, the ultimate underdog. A mysterious life form that entered the space-time rift with a traveler from a faraway world. It appears to value growing stronger and likes to challenge strong opponents. It's a poor loser, but uses its frustration to spur itself to improve. Its efforts have finally started showing effects. We have a couple comments here from art director Takito Exa, who says of the original design, way back when, that the producer, and I quote, the producer praised Uquaji's buttocks. I mean, sure, yeah. There's something to praise there. And he wanted to draw Uquaji's surface as if it were made out of hard rubber. Look, I mean, that boy thick, what can I say, honestly? So why was Uquaji created? So director Takeshima is this to say, at the time of release, there were few opponents to fight for a party that was raised to level 80, so Uquaji was made as a strong enemy who could be rematched and who could provide an evolving challenge. So at that time, there was part 1, a few episodes, and chance encounters with Azami and Garyu. Oh, the good old days, right? remember back when? I think I just grew a new gray hair. And they also had in mind that wanted a mysterious character like that. More Uquaji lore. Director Takeshima goes on, in original sketches, Uquaji looked like nothing like it does now. He remembers it like it was an aggressive look. After having some cuteness added, Uquaji became what it is today. And as for the post-change forms, Exa has basically drawn them kind of as he likes. He's had free reign over those. And at first the room was one size smaller, but the post-change form got bigger and bigger, so remember making the room bigger just to be safe upon release. Still, Uquaji got too big along the way, so we may have talked about making it a little bit smaller next time. Uquaji was born, again, another comment from art director Exa, who says Uquaji was born from a collaboration with director Takeshima. They talked to each other a lot about the design of Uquaji. And the first rough sketch he submitted was very, quote, very unpopular with the team members who saw it. And speaking of some older sketches, we have some. This is what he looks like now. The current illustration, and we'll get to some of these older sketches in a bit, but Takito Exa has this to say about the current X's. The current design. Please pay attention to the eyes. The character does not speak, but the eyes give the impression of not giving up, which is what he focused on in this drawing. And it looks as if the clothes are coming off, but this is not taking off the clothes. This is more like peeling himself from the inside and coming out as a reflection of the desire to be strong. So I said we'd see some old versions of what this character used to look like. This was a previous Uquaji, which was never put into the game. Apparently, it was quite unpopular with the team. But Exa says when he was working on the illustration, he was also thinking that his head might pop off and fly around, fly away. And he was asked, "How do you come up with something like this?" And he replied, "Simply for fun." He thought that this was what everyone was looking for, but it seems what everybody was looking for was completely different. What do you guys think of this version of Uquaji? I'm going to take a sip from my invisible cup well. Absolute terror. You need it. Implement it for fun. We have a couple more rejected concepts. Some you can see how it started to take shape, look a little bit more like our little blue boy does today. These are some rough illustrations before the current 5-star illustration. So at this point, Uquaji was already like kind of formulated, and now we're working on the 5-star illustration. Exa says of these illustrations that he was originally thinking of putting the final form in the background, but decided it'd be better to depict Uquaji alone. And that's how we ended up with the current illustration. And we have some final, more rejected concepts. These were some rough illustrations that Exa drew on his own when he had heard that Uquaji was going to become an ally. I'm kind of personally, of these three, I'm a little partial to the wizard cap one with the glowing magic wand. You want a village of these creatures? An Uquaji village? Alright, well, we've got a quality of life change coming to the game. Soon it will be easier to challenge Uquaji. Currently, if you fight Uquaji, 24 hours must pass before you can re-challenge Uquaji. However, from 2.13.7 onward, you'll be able to fight Uquaji after 24 hours, or if you stay at an inn. And yes, before you ask, you can also fight again after eating a promised fruit in the space-time rift. You know, you guys keep mentioning some guy is here. I don't know. I've heard a lot of comments about some guy. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm once again, for those who don't know me, I am Scott, the community manager for another Eden the Cat Beyond Time and Space. Some guy is a character from the game who I don't know why you guys are commenting about him so much, but anyway, let's move right along. As we said before, this new update will release October 11th. That is 1 week from today, so look forward to that. Now, we told you that we had not one, but two updates for you that we were going to cover today. We just covered one. Let us get in to the second one. That is right. The second one, the grand prize winning character from the character design contest that was held here in Japan will become your ally. Let's meet this character. So this illustration is by Garaku. The design was submitted for the contest was so cute that we thought that we could make the best use of the character by having the artist draw it. So once again, this is an illustration by Garaku. Just a little bit of background here. We'll have a closer look too. This was from the design contest in Japan. We got character info from the contest. She was a fire spirit salamander in her previous life, but now she is a girl who serves the water palace. So a little bit of fire, a little bit of water, a little bit kind of dual personality. That dichotomy is quite interesting, I think. We'll take a closer look here at Aisha. We have a comment from Garaku, who says, I paid particular attention to the design of the weapon. The weapon is based on gagaku, which is like a traditional Japanese music, a gagaku instrument, and combined with various motifs. I want to point out, once again, that this is going to be a free character. Aisha will be a free character. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's watch a little video.
Feels like I can do anything. I got a funny feeling in my bones. Feel the vibes, watch your spirit rise.
Aisha is coming late October. That's this month. That's so soon. But that's not all. We've got some more characters who are appearing in October Encounters. We told you that we would be introducing two, but we have some more characters to talk about. First, let's talk about a character who's going to become available for the October 11th update. Warm feelings in a snowy heart, the Okami no Kami, Yukino, another style, a most mysterious girl who can switch at will between the form of a human girl and that of a snowman. She usually acts cool on the outside, but she's actually all warm and fuzzy on the inside. She treasures a carrot that she received from a girl long ago in a snowy village. Now she waits every day for the chance to meet her once again. I've got another video for you.
You will never melt my ice. Here we go! Freeze! Chill. Glad my umbrella made it out okay. Another Eden. The cat beyond time and space.
So we've got some battle tips for Yuki's Another Style. Backy's battle tips. We're gonna, because we've got actually the man himself included in our developer interview, and they're waiting for us. We're gonna breeze through these real quick. I don't know. You guys probably don't need me to read everything here, but let me go over the most important points, which are, as a piercing type supporter, she contributes greatly to attack and firepower. She excels at enduring attacks while setting up high damage hits, and while also awakening zones with another force and repeating the process. For anybody who wants to hold on to this as a screenshot, I'll pose for you. Hold on. You can take a screenshot right now. All right. We'll move on. Tip number 2. Stick with bow-equipped allies as much as possible, but make up the rest with lances. Focus on piercing type. The team should be formed with bow-equipped allies if possible for the strength buff, as well as lance-type high firepower attackers, if any. So I'm gonna give you another pose here. You can take your screenshot now. And we'll move on. Finally, as a supporter specialized in piercing type with many buffs and debuffs for both attack and defense, she used the feature of Tenen Hyodan to incorporate Awaken Zone into your strategy. Depending on the enemy, consider team composition with the reuse cycle of Kamikura Bujin in mind. Any thoughts so far about Yukino AAS? Need a blessing? May your encounters be blessed, losers. And for anybody watching the stream, may all of your encounters be blessed. Let's take a quick look at the difference between the normal style and another style. And we also, while we're looking at this, we have a comment from Akiyama, the designer of Yukino's Another Style. We started with the idea that we wanted to see a summer version of Yukino, and we aimed to create a design that was as cute as possible while keeping in mind the Japanese Yukiko like silhouette. Yukiko meaning like snow child. Silhouette. Snow falls from the umbrella, and a large cape acts as a sunshade to provide coolness in the heat. And the animation using the umbrella is very cute too, so I hope you will enjoy it as well. Now we have another one to talk about. Yukino's AS is going to be with the October 11th update. We have another one to talk about. This one is for late October. It is the Gentle Knight, Another Style, Soira. A descendant of a rich family, a lackadaisical character. Although she belongs to the Unigan knighthood, it doesn't seem to have affected her personality. She wanders around the city helping people as she goes. She's getting quite a reputation. So many piercing units, yeah. So anybody who's been missing out on piercing units, if that's something you need in your party, we've got some piercing units on the way. Once again, here's look at the difference between the normal style and Another Style of Soira, and we have a comment from Yuka Sato, the designer of Soira's Another Style, who says, "She is one of the earliest characters, and one to which I have a deep attachment. Among various design proposals, we decided on this dress, which expresses Soira's warm, sunny image in the bright orange and blue, the color of a lucky flag, and is also decorated with pretty flowers, making it a very precious dress filled with the sender's love. The illustration depicts Soira, who is barefoot because heels are too tight and tries to sleep regardless of where she is. She wants to take a leisurely nap alone, but like the little birds in the illustration, people mysteriously gather around her. I hope you will be like Soira too. Or I hope you will like Soira too. You could be like her if you want. Any thoughts about this? About Another Style, Soira? See, it's a lot of requests for everybody's favorite Another Styles for everybody's favorite character. Let's summarize, shall we? So, scheduled for October 11th, we've got an 8th form of Uquaji being released, level 175 through 195. Will be added to the Uquaji Spacetime Rift. Clear the high-level content, Journey's End and Beginning, and Uquaji will become your ally. New weapons and armor will be added as well. You can fight against Uquaji again by staying at the inn. That's that cool quality of life update coming. for anybody who hasn't really gone through Uquaji's gauntlet and wants to speed run it in anticipation of this new update, all you got to do is go get a promise fruit from the tree. You'll be able to encounter Yukino AS until December 10th, 2022 at 2:59 p.m. UTC. And then 2 times max Yukino AS Fateful Encounter will be available until November 10 at 2:59 p.m. UTC. Please see the in-game notice for update details. And then in late October, complete the quest and Aisha will become your ally, and we'll have an encounter for Soira AS. Final emphasized note, these 2 characters here, Uquaji and Aisha, will be free. You just have to complete the quest to get them. Now, that's easier said than done, obviously, but there you have it. Yes, Aisha is a free character. The two characters here are both going to be free. You have to just complete their quests to get them. You know, Yukino AS does look Aeon until December 10th does seem like a long banner period, but I'm not complaining. It's enough to more chances to get Yukino AS. All right, so that does it for the character updates. Now, as we mentioned before, we have been planning this interview. We are going to do a live interview now with developers of Another Eden, Koike-san, Backy-san, Justin-san. For those of you who have not heard of them before, let me do a quick introduction, but they'll introduce themselves as well. Koike is the producer of the global version of Another Eden. Backy is a member of the global version dev team and MC of the Japanese live stream. And Justin is the localization manager on this and some other projects, but who will also be, Justin will also be kindly interpreting for today's interview. And so now, without further ado, let's welcome our guests. Hey, Koike-san, Backy-san, and Justin, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. Say hi.
皆さんようこそお越しいただいてありがとうございます。まず日本語変かな。まず自己紹介をお願いいたします。じゃあ小池さんからお願いします。
わかりました。はい。Hi, I'm Koike, Another Iden's global producer. I'm a little nervous but excited to be here and to talk with you guys and answer some of your questions. Thank you.
はあ。じゃあ僕ですね。Hi guys, I'm Backy, a member of the development team for Another Eden Global. I want to thank everyone who supported me in the Dream Team contest. If we end up do it again, I do my best to finally get a win. よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
And I'm Justin. Nice to be here and talk with you guys, answer some questions. I'm excited to be in the presence of the real some guy.
I don't know where is that coming from? I don't know. Oh.
You know, I think the guy on the stream is some guy. I don't know. Maybe you're doing one of those like VTuber things.
I think, yeah, you know what? It's totally a coincidence. I just happened to wear what was in my closet, you know, what was next up in the order. And it just, I guess, coincidentally looks like some guy. That's weird. That's just totally weird. It's not, has nothing to do with the fact that it's October.
I see.
So we're going to get in to the questions real quick. The first question, let me actually, I'm going to bring up my questions here. Let me ask everybody in the chat, can the chat hear everyone okay? I can hear them okay, and it sounds like you can too, but I just want to make sure you guys are hearing everything okay. Hear him fine? Sounds good to you? Great. All right. Then without further ado, let's get right into the questions. So this first question is actually going to be for Backy. And the question is, how do you feel about getting absolutely blanked on Dream Team?
ドリームチーム、秋葉さんへの質問です。ドリームチームコンテストで全負けっていう結果になったんですけど、それに、お気持ちはいかがでしょうか？
はい。まあ、全敗というのは一つの結果だったので、時代が僕にまだ追いついていないかなと思っておりますので、いつか時代が、ファッションが僕に追いつくことを信じて、次回も頑張っていきます。
So he was saying that, losing every single round is in some ways a win. And he also thinks that, maybe the fans haven't quite caught up to what Backy was trying to do. And it may take some time for everyone to just, catch up to what he's been doing. But perhaps maybe if we do Dream Team again, everybody will kind of finally be on the same level as Backy, and he'll pull out a win finally.
Backy coming out with the Galaxy Brain moves, for sure. He's ahead of his time, I think, is what we're getting here. So we'll direct that question. Actually, we'll turn it to Koike-san. How do you feel about winning Dream Team?
で、小池さんは、ドリームティームコンテストの優勝は、どんな気持ちになったんでしょうか？
そうですね。勝ったのもやっぱり嬉しいんですけど、選んだ理由を皆さんが書いてくれてて、で、自分が書いたものがそこにマッチしたんだなっていう感触が、リアルタイムで味わえたので、とても嬉しかったんですけど、ただちょっとバッキーの人気がすごかったんで、そこはちょっと羨ましかったです。
So he's really happy about winning and how when he was watching the stream, how fans were kind of resonating with the teams that he was making. But he is a little bit jealous of how popular Backy was and the kind of reception he was getting through the contest. But he's very happy to pull out a win.
Well, you'll have to join us for more appearances here on the stream. I'm sure you'll quickly ingratiate yourself with this audience.
今後も配信に出ていただいて、ファンと馴染んで小池さんの人気がきっと上昇すると思いますので。
ありがとうございます。
And keeping with the same theme, Justin, how does it feel middling on Dream Team?
Okay. So listen, after the second round, I was feeling pretty good, but there was this kind of fear in the back of my mind that it was becoming too obvious which one was mine. So I tried. I played myself in the last round by dialing back a little bit, and so I feel a little bit of regret for not going all out. I think my saving grace was CL and CL. I should have done more. But having said that, seeing the fact that most of the votes were people trying to get Backy a win, but still in the process of doing that, giving Koike-san the win, made me feel like it was okay. I'm okay with that kind of loss. I think the fans had the right idea, and I wish I could have done more to help Akiba-san win. I've given him a few pointers, and if we ever do this again, I think, he could pull it out.
We'll learn from this and take that into the 2023 season, perhaps. All right, this next question here is actually also for everybody. So maybe we'll start with the same order we've been going with Koike-san and then Backy-san and then you, Justin. The next question is, here we go. There we go. What is your favorite food item from Another Eden?
そうですね。アナデンの食べ物の中で一番好きというか、美味しそうなものって、教えていただけますか？小池さんからお願いします。
あ、はい。僕は、煉獄会でもらえるお弁当の、霞弁当っていうのが、結構ファンタジーというか、何なんだろうっていう、その幻想的な感じがちょっと面白いなと思って、すごい好きです。
So Koike-san was saying that the すいません、小池さん、もう一回料理名を教えていただけますか。
煉獄会の霞弁当ってやつです。
So the Rengoku group's Kasumi Bento. Actually, I don't remember what the English is for a lot of these food items, so you'll have to forgive me. I'll use the Japanese names for these. But he was saying that it's kind of really the kind of food you would see in a fantasy setting, and it was really cool. He thinks. Yeah. じゃあ、バッキーさんじゃない、秋葉さん、
バッキーさん
は、どういう料理が、美味しそうと思いますか？
リンディっていうキャラが持ってる豚まんナグシャムっていう都市の中にも売ってる豚まんがめちゃくちゃ美味しそうです。
はい。So in Nagsham, there is a pork bun that Akiba-san says he thinks it looks really delicious. I believe Lindy sells it or has it or something like that. But yeah, that's the food he thinks would be really great to eat.
And yourself?
So I am going to go with the old standard, the Baraoki rice ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you just go with the standard. And a good small town comfort food is probably the best tasting food you'll have in any RPG. That first town, there's nothing quite like that first town, so.
Yeah, it always reminds you of home.
Exactly.
Not that anybody cared to ask, but for anybody out there who does care, my favorite is the ice cream stew from CL's mom. You probably, if you've been following our social media for a long time, you'll know that we actually created a recipe video. You can probably search for it, ice cream stew, another Eden, and you'll see a step-by-step video on how to prepare ice cream stew.
スコットさんは、アイスクリーム鍋だったかな、シエルのお母さんが作る、料理が好きで、実はそのレシピ動画みたいなものを出していて、実際作れるというのがあるんです。
すごい。
This is a few years ago that I put this up, but you can find it on the Another Eden Twitter.
数年前に作った動画なんですけれども、アナデンの英語ツイッター、公式ツイッターに載っていますので、ちょっと、
スコットさんのネタ動画、どれも見てるんですけど、すごい好きです。
Koike-san said that he watches all of your goofy Another Eden videos, Scott, and he loves every single one of them.
スコットさん、今日の格好とかあれですよね、親父のコスプレしてくれてるんですよね。
Backy wants to know if today's outfit is the some guy outfit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
ちょっと何の話かわかりませんっていう。実はそうなんですけれども、一応自分とその親父が別キャラっていう設定になっています。
なるほど、なるほど。ちょっと踏み込んじゃったんですね。
はい。
バレました。
I was just explaining to Akiba-san that Scott and some guy are different people, and we're not supposed to talk about the fact that, well, yeah, I won't say anymore.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question here. We have, let's see, actually, not that one. There we go. We had a question come in from Twitter from a user who asked, it had been a year since Garambarel was released. When can we see another original male character that's not just in another style or an extra style?
ガランバレルのリリースから1年経っていて、アナザーエーデンで新しいオリジナル男性キャラ、AS と ES じゃない男性キャラの登場、いつになるんでしょうか。小池さん
はい。そうですね。ちょっと僕としては、ノクシスとか、キュリオとかっていうところが出してるので、ちょっとガロンバレル以降いないっていうところは、ちょっと、なるほどっていうところはあるんですが、ただ、夢見であっても、ストーリー加入であっても、仲間になるキャラクターについては、その時のちょっとコンテンツとかに影響するので、ちょっといつっていう質問に回答するのは難しいんですが、男性とか女性とかに限らず、こういうキャラクターが欲しいっていうところは皆さんの要望もそうなんですけど、チーム内でもすごいたくさん要望があるので、そういうものを皆さんに喜んでいただける形で出せるように、日々頑張っていますので、お待ちいただければと思います。
はい。So yeah, with regards to it being a year with no male characters, there is actually Noxus and Curio, so you have that. But also in terms of just like what kind of content is coming down the pipeline, whether it be male or female, we look at everybody's wishes, hopes, and dreams, and internally we have our own. As well, and we work hard every day to kind of deliver the content that we think you guys will love and stuff that we'll love too. So we can't really say anything about future content, but just know that voices are being heard, and hopefully we'll be able to release content that you guys will enjoy from here on out, well, up until now and from here on out. Don't take that as me teasing anything. I'm not teasing anything.
Yep.
This is me just being my typical awkward self. But needless to say, we're making the characters the best we can, and hopefully the new characters that come out from here until the end of time will, or another time layer or whatever, will be a character you guys will like.
Great. Well, thank you. We look forward to upcoming characters. This next question is actually for Backy. Backy, I know you watch these streams. Are you ever going to accept my invitation to karaoke? I've been asking you on streams for about the past three or 4 months since the end of spring. So I look forward to your answer.
これは、秋葉さんへの質問ですが、この3、4ヶ月ぐらい、秋葉さんは多分グローバルの配信を見てると思うんですけれども、スコットって何度も、秋葉さんにカラオケ行こうっていう、ちょっと話は何回も出てると思うんですけれども、今でも返事がなくって、実際どうですか？カラオケは行こうよっていう。
カラオケ行きましょうよ。
He says, let's go. Let's go.
All right.
なんか、ですよ。
I think he was singing something. 秋葉さん、それ今なんか聞き覚えがある曲なんですけど、今の。
はい。日本のカラオケには入ってますんで。
It's a song that is in the list of songs in a Japanese karaoke box, pretty much around the whole country. So, if you want to hear more, you gotta go.
All right. Sounds good. Let's make a plan. Our next question is for both Koike-san and Backy-san. Some people had asked, somebody asked on Twitter, is it true that you can actually beat the game with free characters? Now, I think maybe some of our more experienced players probably know the answer to this well, but for people who maybe are new to the game or haven't maybe found the right strategy with free players or free characters or not been able to take the most advantage of them. Can you actually beat the game with free characters?
これは、2人への質問になるんですけど、まず秋葉さんからで、聞きます。アナデンのメインストーリーの方かな。配布、無料、いわゆる無料キャラクター、配布キャラだけで、アナデン攻略できるかっていう話っていう質問ですけれども、どうですか？実際、配布キャラでクリアできます？
はい。ちゃんとした装備 とキャラが揃っていて、メインストーリーは十分クリアできると思います。ただ僕はアナザーエデンがあんまり上手じゃないので、すごく苦労するかもしれないですけど、クリアはできます。
So Akiba-san was saying that if you've got the right equipment and the right characters, you can totally beat the main story with free characters. That said, Akiba-san's not very good at the game, so it'll be a bit tough, but it is possible. And I'm going to ask Koike-san the same question here. Koike-san はいかがでしょうか？同じ質問です。
そうですね。はい。バッキーが言ってたことにも近いんですけど、電はやっぱ育成がとても奥深いので、育成を進めていくことと、あとバトルのシステムを理解して、で、そこにいろんな工夫を取り入れることで、攻略の幅っていうのが大きく変わってくると思うので、ぜひいろいろ試して遊んでもらえたらなと思います。
So Koike-san was saying that the kind of I would call it the leveling up system, the way to kind of like strengthen your characters in Another Eden is very deep. And the battles are very strategic. So if you've got a strategic mind and play things carefully, you can totally get through the game with just free characters. It just requires careful planning and deep knowledge of how the game works.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the next question. Do you play test the game yourselves? This question is for everyone. So we'll start in the same order.
Okay, yeah. じゃあ、次の質問は、アナザーエデンの、実際自分でプレイ、しますか？テストプレイっていうふうに書いてあるんですけど、テストプレイでも、実際リリース版も、どっちかの方やっていますでしょうか？これは、みんなへの質問ですので、また秋葉さんから行きましょう。
はい、テストプレイなんですけど、基本的に、ストーリーに関しては、僕はずっとユーザー目線でいたいので、テストプレイはしないです。で、ただ、バッキーティップスを作るときに、自分が持っていないキャラがいた場合は、テストプレイをして、いろんなボスと戦ったり、グラスターを組んでみたり、パーティーを構成してみたりっていうときには使います。ただ、最近のバッキーティップスはほとんど持ってるんで、はい、テストプレイはせずに、実際に自分のアカウントで、本当に楽しんで、皆さんに情報を提供しています。
So yeah, Akiba-san does not play, he does not test play the main story content because he likes to play the game from a player's perspective. So he plays it once it's released. And in fact, all of the Backy's tips are done via his experiences playing the released version of the game, except if it's a character that he doesn't have, he'll use the test build to gather up tips and stuff like that. But most of, if not all of the recent Backy's tips are all from characters that he actually got in the game. No salt. Firing straight 4 stars all through every single gacha. Sorry, I'm adding that. That's my own little color added on. But he is actually playing the game, the release build, and doing this by himself. Yeah. じゃあ次、小池さん、お願いいたします。
はい。僕の場合は、そのテストプレイっていうところでいくと、大きなコンテンツとかストーリーについては、開発チーム全体でテストプレイを行う機会があるので、そこでテストプレイを僕はしていて、ユーザーさんがどういうところで盛り上がるかなとか、感動するかなとかっていうところを予想して、ちょっとプロモーションとかにも活かしたりもしつつ、実際にリリースされた時に、ユーザーの皆さんがどういうところで盛り上がってるかっていうのを、その自分の予想と比べたりするっていうところが、すごい楽しいので、そういう感じでテストプレイを普段してます。
So, Koike-san does play, he does test play the game, specifically the story, content, and pretty much everything. And as he's doing it, he kind of picks out scenes that he thinks will resonate with fans, and he kind of uses that to help with promotion and all that sort of thing. And then once the game is released, he looks for fan comments and screenshots and stuff like that to see what people actually did resonate with, and he compares it with his notes and kind of enjoys seeing what you guys thought were cool in comparison to what he thought was cool.
And yourself, Justin.
Yeah, so actually I do play the test build a lot, because you got to do some research for upcoming content. Translation requires a lot of studying and research, but also if it's a quest that I have translated personally, which is kind of recently a relatively rare thing, but I will play the quest as I'm writing it, after I'm done writing it, and again until I've got everything just right. But yeah, I mostly just play the test build. The release build is I can only really play the Japanese one, and I like to play it in English, so I typically go with the test build.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much for that. I also do, by the way, for anybody out there interested, I play the release build to create all the social media posts that go up. So the whatever, if you don't see your character featured on Twitter very often, it's because I don't have that character yet, and I'm trying to get them. But yeah.
スコットはリリースビルドをやっていて、で、ソーシャルメディアのポストとかいろいろ作ってる時に自分が持ってるキャラクターで作っていて、で、自分の好きなキャラクターがあんまり SNS に登場しないっていう理由は、スコット自身が持ってないキャラクターであるんで、ちょっと申し訳ないですっていう感じです。
なるほどね。しょうがない。
This next question is again for everybody. What characters do you find the most interesting in terms of design and gameplay?
ゲームの中で、アナデンのキャラクターの中で、デザインとか、そのゲーム性が面白いキャラクター、一つ教えてください。で、なんでそういうふうに思ってるか、教えていただければありがたいです。じゃあ、まず小池さんからお願いします。
はい。僕はですね、さっきもアナザースタイルの発表があったばっかりなんですけど、ノーマルスタイルで初めて登場したときに、雪乃が、雪だるま変化っていうスキルで、雪だるまに丸っとなっちゃって、そこから吹雪で攻撃をしつつ、自分は攻撃を受けないっていうところがすごく面白いなと思ってたので、出た当初はすごくいっぱい使ってました。
So Koike-san likes, he was really kind of fascinated by Yukino in her snowman form, where basically you are a snowman, you cannot get damaged or anything like that, but you kind of sometimes do a little blizzard sort of attack every so often, and he thought it was a really interesting gameplay thing. Sorry, I'm not finding the right word, but mechanic, yes, that's the word. But he was really he thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. じゃあ、秋葉さん同じ質問です。
これね、めっちゃ悩んだんですよね。でもやっぱり、海外版、グローバル版なので、メリッサとエヴァの、スキルモーションはやっぱりときめきますね。特にエヴァの、スキル、アストラドラゴはかっこいいんじゃないですかね。こう、ふっと消えた後に竜が上からふわっと出てくるモーションがね、すごいなと思います。
はい。So Akiba-san was like, since this is a global stream, he's going to go with Ava and Melissa. Specifically Ava, I think the name is Astro Dragon. How kind of she like gets off screen real quick and then, you go up and there's this big dragon, which I mean is Ava, but he thought that was really cool. And yeah, he was really impressed.
Speaking of characters that I still need to roll for, and Justin, how about you?
Yeah, for me, so this is kind of a cop-out, I guess, but I think Uquaji, I think people are going to be, his kit is very interesting and kind of unlike something I've ever seen in an RPG. It's very, one thing I like about Another Eden is about, each character's skill set is usually made around their personality and who they are, and I think Uquaji's is specifically kind of Uquaji. I don't know how to say it in any other way, but I think he's going to be one of those characters that is a little hard to use at first, but once you get the to get handle of him, I think he's going to be one of those characters to look out for, and he's free. So
Gotta love that.
yeah, if you're a bad enough dude to get him.
Thank you so much. Let's move on to the next question. This is for Koike-san. So when we put the call out for people to ask their questions to the developers, a lot of them, a very large amount of them were basically along the theme of, when is my favorite character going to get an update, or when is my favorite storyline going to get a second part? When can we expect da 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 da? Now, you've already said, and I know that you cannot spoil future content. So, but just for the sake of kind of putting this question out there, let me reword it for on behalf of the fans. Do you consider player input when planning future content? And if so, what is the best way for people to express which characters they'd like to see more of, or which stories they'd like to see more of?
はい。次は、小池さんへの質問になります。まあ、こういうなんかインタビューとか Q&A で、私の好きなキャラクターはいつ、新しいスタイル出るんですかとか、新しいエピソードはいつリリースされるんですかとか、いろいろ、要望を聞くと思うんですけれども、そういう質問ではなくて、ちょっと違う言い方で、ちょっと聞いてみようと思っていて、新しいコンテンツ、キャラクターでも、ストーリーでも、を作るときに、プレイヤーのインプットというか、その意見を参考にして作っていますでしょうか。それで、そうであれば、そういうフィードバックは、一番開発のメンバーが見やすい場所というか、届きやすい、方法を教えていただけますか？
そうですね。まず、アナザイデンのシナリオチームは、ユーザーの皆さんの反応をすごいすごく励みに、大事に、喜んで、日々摂取していて、なので、そういう中で日々ストーリーを書いているので、SNS とかで、どのキャラが好きとか、どのストーリーが好きで、みたいなこととかで、大きく盛り上がっていただけると、僕たちとしても、シナリオチームにこんなことで盛り上がってたよ、みたいなところを届けることができるので、そういう活動は、積極的にしてもらえると、すごく僕たちとしても、声を反映させやすいかなと思うので、ありがたいです。
Yeah, so, the way we all get through the day is by looking at fan responses to the content that we make. And not just on the global side, but the Japanese version of the game. We look at pretty much everything. And we love the comments, and, we love it when someone is like, their favorite character is the same as ours, or they like the content that we really put, a little bit of extra elbow grease into, and that kind of thing we see. And, in terms of getting your voices to us, the more you speak out about what you like, the easier it is for us to see it. And we do look, so can't guarantee that whatever you say will be, made exactly as you say it, but we do watch and look, and we don't make games in a vacuum, so we really appreciate all the comments, and the more you make, the more we see.
Little bit of take this opportunity to plug our Facebook and our Twitter. If you're not already following us on Facebook and Twitter, please do so. If you are following us on Facebook and Twitter, you heard it here. We're watching, not just me. Everybody is watching your all's voices in responses, and not just to release updates, but even the silly little joke posts I make. If you like that character that you see, and show them a little love, we notice. And again, like Justin said, we can't obviously make, just because one character gets tons and tons of love doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to build something around that. But you are definitely heard. we go. Oh, look, we got a moderator who's taking care of our chat. Thank you so much for that. Let's move on to the next question then. This is also for Koike-san. Kind of along the same lines, and I imagine that the answer is quite similar. But we still got a ton of these kind of questions, so I'm compelled to ask. A lot of people are asking about different quality of life issues, things that were related to UI or relating to the collection of materials, things of that nature. And I assume it's difficult to address each one, but what is the best way that people can make these kinds of quality of life requests or suggestions?
こちらも小池さん宛ての質問になります。さっきの質問がキャラクターとかコンテンツの話だったんですけれども、今回は UI とか QOL、クオリティオブライフの、改善とか、そういう機能の要望とか、そういう意見とか、こういう風に変えてほしいとか、ファンからの、要望は一番届きやすい方法って、何でしょうか？
そうですね。改修とか改善については、やるからにはやっぱり多くのユーザーの皆様にとって良いものに変えなくてはならないっていう前提がどうしてもあるので、ユーザーの皆様もお待たせしてしまっている部分があるかなっていうところは、申し訳ない部分ではあるんですけど、すべての要望についてちょっと実現しますよっていうちょっとことはできないんですけど、ただサポートのご意見ご要望に届いたものですとか、あとSNS に投稿してもらっている意見要望については、各担当の方から逐一報告してもらっているので、そういうものをいつも改善の検討に役立たせてもらってはいます。
Yeah, so, we appreciate the suggestions and we're actually we're sorry we can't deliver on every single quality of life update that the fans and what you guys want. But that said, we get requests through our support channels and through social media, and those kind of requests and stuff like that get to the dev team, and we keep them under consideration when we're making quality of life updates and UI updates and stuff like that. Our goal is to make a game that's easy for everyone to play, and where the game itself doesn't get in the way of the fun. But we're doing our best, I guess you could say. But that said, yes, support channels, SNS, all that sort of stuff. We see it all, so just let us know very plainly.
For anybody in kind of the Western audience there who are unsure what SNS means, that's our social media platform. So basically Facebook and Twitter. Make your voice heard there. It's another place, but also our support channels, as Justin said.
You've been in Japan too long.
When you say SNS,
when you say
look, I do
SNS, it's social media.
I do it myself.
英語で SNS って言わないんですよ。ソーシャルメディアとか、Twitter とか言うんで、自分が SNS と言ったことをちょっと日本人っぽくてバレちゃいましたということで。
So let's move on to the next question. The next question here is for Backy. So you said earlier, let's go to karaoke, but I didn't hear a specific date. I didn't hear anything about a specific time. Are you willing to commit to a date now and then publish our trip on the AE staff account, the Another Eden staff account, to prove your sincerity to going?
次、秋葉さんへの質問です。さっきカラオケ行こうよっていう話になったんですけれども、いつ行くとか、どこ、場所とか、詳しいことを全然言ってなくって、この Q&A を機に、もう、日付と場所をもう決めちゃおうっていうのは、ちょっとできますでしょうか。で、カラオケ行った後に、アナザーエーデンの、スタッフアカウントで、動画を投稿して、ちゃんと行きましたっていう証明はできますでしょうか。
And we don't have to talk about the location, just to,
じゃあ、場所は言わなくていいんですけど、
date and time.
場所は言わなくていいんですけど、日付と時間決めていただければと。
はい、ちょうどね、 チームのメンバーでカラオケ行きたいねっていう話をね、何人かと今してるんですよ。なので、10月中にね、どっかで、東京都練馬区でね、やろうかなというふうには思ってはおりますので、その時に、もし写真が撮れたら、一発写真を撮ってですね、証拠写真をあげようかなと思いますので、はい。あと、関係ないですけど、グラスタのユーザーインターフェース直したいよね。
So you know what? So Backy was saying that he's been planning a karaoke trip with some members of the team. It's going to happen sometime in the middle of October, which is now. So hopefully in the next couple weeks. He didn't pin down a date specifically, but he is cool with posting a picture of the event to prove his sincerity. Also, just to kind of comment on the last question, Akiba-san is really, he really wants to do something about the Grasta UI, but that's just his own personal thing.
Cool. I didn't hear about that karaoke trip that was coming. I look forward to hearing more about that. I'll open my calendar.
カラオケのこと全然聞いてなくて、でもまあ聞いてよかったです。10月のカレンダーはちょっと開けて、招待を待っておりますので、よろしくお願いします。
すごいカラオケの質問ばっか来ましたね。
そうです。
Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm just pulling these questions from the audience.
See, he was saying there's a lot of questions about karaoke, so, but, you know.
僕すごいカラオケ好きなんで、なんかびっくりしました。知ってんのかなと思って。
So actually, Akiba-san loves karaoke, and he was kind of surprised. He didn't. Did you know that about him, or were you just?
Oh, I mean, yeah. We've so we when we were doing the dream team, we kind of asked for some background information about you guys, and that was one of the things that you may have forgotten, but that was one of the things you said about yourself is that you enjoy karaoke.
ドリームチームの自己紹介のところに秋葉さんがカラオケのことを書いてあって、でそこからじゃあカラオケ行こうよっていう感じになったんですよ。
書いてたんだ。
それでバレちゃったんですよ。
なるほど。
はい。
OK。
I'm looking forward to our trip.
楽しみにしてます。
はい。
Okay.
のかな
No pressure. All right, let's move on. This is actually our final question, also for Backy. Do you feel a difference between playing another Eden and developing it? Like the kind of feeling that you get. Obviously, there's a difference, but like, do you use your experience playing the game? Like, you keep the experience of playing the game in mind when you are developing it.
最後の質問になっています。秋葉さんへの質問です。
はい、
アナデンを作っている時の気持ちと、実際リリース版やってる時の気持ちって違ったりしますか？そして、実際リリースビルドをやっている経験を作っている体制に取り組んでいますか？なんつったらいい？その経験を生かしてますか？実際やってる経験ですか？
なるほど。そうね、さっきの質問につながっちゃうんですけど、テストプレイをだからほとんどしないんですよね。ただ、強いボスと戦うっていう時のテストみたいなのは結構やるんで、それに関しては、その実際のリリースの時に、そのまんま、同じイメージで、再現ができているな、みたいな確認はしますけど、なんて言ったらいいんだろうな。ジャスティンさん、これどういうことだ？
実際やってる時ってさ、プレイヤー目線でいろいろやるじゃないですか。
それは見る。
そのプレイヤー目線の気持ちを実際ゲームを作ってる時に活かしてますかっていう。
そうですね。そこら辺はやっぱり見る。すごく細かいことで言うと、これアナザーエデンやってる人だったらね、分かってくれると嬉しいんですけど、 アナザーダンジョンの最後のボスのそのフロアに行った時に宝箱があるじゃないですか。あれをすぐ取れるようにしたいんですよ。画面が切り替わってフロアに入ったら、一歩も動かずに宝箱を開けれるような場所に宝箱があると便利だと思いませんか？
はい。
なんかそういう部分とかを、テストプレイの時に、ここにピッてあればすぐピッて押せて、すぐ周回がね、スムーズにいけるのに、それができないと、っていう風に思ったりするので、はい。そういうのが活かせていけるといいな、みたいなのは思ったりします。
はい。
長かったけど。
はい、ありがとうございます。So, to answer the question yes, the answer is yes. And to kind of give an example, so when you get to the last floor of another dungeon, you're about to fight the boss or whatever, and when you get in there, there's always a treasure chest just before the boss fight. And Backy, the player, is like, well, I want to get that chest immediately, like as the screen is finished loading and you see what's on screen. I want to be able to tap that treasure chest, get that thing, and go. So when he's test playing some of the dungeon content and stuff like that, he kind of looks at the game from like, okay, well, is this going to be annoying to have to do this over and over again? Because if you put the chest in a weird place, or if it's too far and you have to move first, you play it once and it's nothing. But if you're playing another dungeon over and over and over again, you want it to be in a place that is very easy to get and makes your run a lot smoother. And so he takes that kind of experience from his experience as just, a player of another Eden, and he takes that and uses it on the development of the actual game. So yeah, to answer this question, the question, yes. He does use that experience as a player in the development of the game.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for your time today. That does it for our interview, and that does it for this edition of Another Eden Live. So thank you, everybody in the chat, for following us. I'll give another plug. Like we've said a couple of times in this interview, we hear your voices. We are paying attention to all the various social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and so on. We're also, at least I could say I am certainly not lurking in Reddit. I'm in Reddit, and I'm also lurking in Discord. You'll never find me. But we're looking, and we see what you say, we see what you talk about, and it matters. So please continue to let us express how you feel about the game and what you want to see and who you want to see and all of that. Yeah, that does it. Why don't usually I sign off by myself, but if you all could help me say goodbye to everybody, I would love that. So
いつも一人で最後の挨拶をしているんですけれども、みんな一緒にお願いできれば、今回の配信を終わりにしたいと思っています。
はい。
Okay. Ready when you are, Scott.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. もう OK。
All right. Bye, guys.